Porsche horror. All accused get bail. The Supreme Court has granted relief. Blood sample swap case. Bail was granted to a total of 3 accused persons in this particular case. Remember, we are talking about the Pune Porsche horror, in which all accused were given to understand now have gotten bail. The Supreme Court has given them relief in this blood sample swap case. Remember, that was a very big controversy in this entire case as well. Bail has been granted to a total of 3 accused persons. So this is the latest that we're learning of right now. This is the Pune Porsche horror case in which we are hearing of relief for all the 3 accused in the blood sample swap case as well. There has been relief that's come for them from the Supreme Court in this entire case. Now we are waiting to hear of the details and how this order reads as well. That is something our correspondents will be able to bring us more clarity on. But this is the latest that we're getting right now. Supreme Court is granting bail to 3 accused in the May 2024 tragic fatal accident in Pune, which involved a Porsche. The Supreme Court of India, it's granted bail to the 3 individuals accused of assisting in the alleged blood swapping, the tampering of the blood samples following this high-profile Pune Porsche crash. This was back in May 2024, which claimed the lives of 2 young software engineers. For more on this, we have Ananya Bhatnagar live with us, who can get us more information on this. Ananya, what can you tell us?
Well, absolutely, 3 accused persons have now been granted bail by, in fact, the topmost court of the country as far as, the Pune Porsche case is concerned. Remember that this case was not only about an accident, but a lot of foul play emerged out later as well with regards to, the changing of the blood samples and various tampering with the evidences. As far as tampering with evidence is concerned, Advocate Shakti Pandey along with Advocate Prashant Patil and Mr. Abid had actually appeared for these accused persons in this particular case. And clearly the Supreme Court today granted a bail to all of these accused persons, though a detailed order copy is yet to come out as far as to know the reasons and the conditions that have been imposed by the Supreme Court as far as things are concerned. But clearly, at this particular point of time, this is a big relief coming in for all these accused persons as far as the Pune Porsche case is concerned. Remember that there had been a lot of uproar because the main accused who had and who was actually going on that particular Porsche car was actually a minor, and there had been various demands with regards to trying him as a juvenile. However, that demand was later rejected by the Juvenile Justice Board itself.
Absolutely, Ananya. Of course, this is a high-profile case. We saw the uproar back then, and I'm assuming that in light of this new order that has come out, in which, of course, also important to mention, if preliminary reports are anything to go by, the court has weighed the length of the detention against these allegations. Clearly, we are going to see some uproar on that front as well, Ananya.
Well, absolutely. We might see an uproar as far as the orders from the Supreme Court are concerned, but that could only be clear as to knowing and only after knowing the reasons why the Supreme Court felt that, bail can actually be granted in this particular case. Remember that there have been allegations of tampering with the evidence, there have been allegations of influence and changing of the blood samples even before proper testing could actually be done, and that's exactly how this case had invited a lot of flack, not only because the juvenile was actually driving that particular car, but also because there had been a lot of influence and tampering that had actually taken place in this particular regard.
Right now, if we were to just recall, in December last year, the Bombay High Court had also rejected the bail pleas filed by the accused, expressing concern that perhaps releasing financially influential and affluent individuals, which is a very important element of this entire case as well, could lead to witness tampering and obstruct course of justice as well. That is something that we saw in December last year. We're talking about the middleman involved in this, who was accused with tampering, alleged tampering of the blood samples. Of course, Ananya, we are waiting to read the fine print here, but what can you tell us?
But, this case actually stems to March 19 last year, and that is exactly where, this particular Porsche car had actually hit the victim, and the juvenile was actually driving this car. Ashish Aditya Vinash Sood is somebody who had actually replaced his blood samples with, in fact, the accused person, so that the juvenile in this particular case can actually come clear of, in fact, the blood test that is there. And that's exactly how, today a bail has now been granted as far as 3 accused persons in this case are concerned. What is the fine print of the judgment, what the topmost court of the country said, is something that we'll get to know in the next few hours.
Absolutely, Ananya. We're, of course, all waiting to read the fine print and see how this order reads.